Like, I think that without a doubt, if you put into place the systems that he teaches you, the exact offer that he teaches you, if you give it your 100%, you will win through this program. Is that like, I needed to shift more attention to acquisition than I was doing in the past. You will get a ton of value from Boris's program.
In this video, I'm going to break down how this videographer went from $10,000 a month to over $38,000 collected within a couple months, implementing a better offer and finally dialing in his acquisition and having leads come in every single day. But guys, don't take it from me, take it from my guy Eddie right here. What's up, dude?
What's up? How we doing, guys? Doing
amazing. Let's go.
I'm excited to share a little bit of what we learned from Boris so far.
Let's go, dude. And the whole goal is to give back and give these give people like videographers just like you like insight and value on what you did to hit 38K a month. And so, dude, would love to ask, did you ever think that that was possible in the videography space?
I never thought about that. That's a good question. You know, I feel like you hit that milestone of hitting 10 and your goal is just to hit 10, you know, because that's the big number that everybody talks about, hit 10K. So I didn't really think about 30K months, but obviously like that's where, now that I've been open to it, or I guess, what's the word? Like I've been able to see so many people winning. Obviously I know that it's definitely, what's the word? It's common. It's not something that's hard or necessarily like abstract or not possible for a videographer. So I wouldn't say that I didn't think I can hit that before, but I never even like thought about hitting that near alone like 20. Like I was always just like, okay, let me hit 10 and then I'll be happy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah, dude, 100%. It seems like a lot of videographers have like that 10K goal, but dude, like you said, it's weird. You start thinking a lot bigger when you're around the group of people like our inner circle where like it's normal to be doing 30K, 40K, 50K as a videographer. Right. And people like, we throw out these numbers and people are like, dude, there's no way. But you see it and it like being around that kind of group kind of just like, would you say that propelled you forward and you're like, dude, if they could do it, I can as well?
100%. That's my mindset with anything. If I see a proven framework, if I see something that's winning, because I've joined mentorships before in programs, so I'm not new to this. But anytime I see something where someone else has accomplished something, I know that I'm going to be able to do it as well. So yeah, I think definitely like what you say, rising tides bring up all ships, and that's true in this case scenario. Is that when you're in the earner circle, when you see the winners, it pushes you. And I remember like vividly times where I was not motivated and then get the Slack notification of someone just getting a piff and like I just go like hard. It like motivated me to go so much harder. So definitely yeah, being in a community of people that are winning consistently, it pushes you. You know, that's not something that you can ignore.
Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right, man. And so, dude, what had to change? Like, let people think that they're gonna work their way with brute force to get to a 20K, 30K, 40K month, and it's simply not true. They need to change their offer, and so that had to change for you. There's two main things that had to change. Your offer had to change, and then your client acquisition. So, before we get into the actual client acquisition, how did having an offer that gets people a return make you more confident and make you more money?
Definitely. I think it's so weird because I hop on calls now and I can tell people that we've gotten client results, and before I literally share my story in the fact that like, yeah, I used to do the content packages that videographers all across the city are doing where they just give you 30 videos, no ROI. And for some business owners, they just need the content and they're happy with it. But over time, you get a lot of people that churn because of that, because they're like, we're not seeing actual results from this. There is no scaling factor to this. There is no, I guess, calculated measure of everything. And I guess that was the biggest thing, is that I really care about my clients and want my clients to win. And just being able to share an offer like this has kind of exploded in terms of just my understanding of business, my understanding of marketing, offers, all that stuff. I've kind of, it's just changed everything. And so that when I hop on calls with clients now, I can be more genuine and explain what we do with proof, you know, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. It's a whole different ballgame because most videographers, they freeze up. When someone's like, oh, how's this going to give me results? You like freeze up, and because you can't. With just content, you cannot get them results. And so having that offer, so like, dude, right out of the gate, we had you start charging $6,000, and then you raise your price over and over again. But how did it shift from charging a 6K implementation fee, and then obviously we upsell clients? How did it shift from that versus just like getting a one-off or getting an MRR and hoping someone sticks? How did that change for you?
Oh, I don't take anything one off anymore. I think that's the biggest thing is like I've learned just to give you some perspective. So I come from a sports videography background. I used to work for the LA Chargers, the NFL, and obviously shifted to running my own business last year, and I've been in other programs. And I think the biggest thing was that like an understanding where I put my time as a business owner, 'cause more than seeing just myself as a videographer, but actually a marketing agency owner. I think that's the biggest thing because I would just be doing shoots, kind of like what you say, running around the city with your like a chicken with your head cut off, right? Like you're kind of just doing everything, and you know you feel busy, so it feels good because you're like I'm busy, I'm making money. But when you actually look at it from a macro perspective, you're not actually building anything that's able to scale. So I knew like this year that that was something that I desperately needed to figure out because I knew that it was possible. I've seen so many people, you know, that started off as videographers, turned into a marketing agency, and obviously are able to take care of their families, go on vacations, and that's the lifestyle I want to be able to live. And I think that obviously having an offer like this changed everything because now I wasn't, you know, trying to figure out like, okay, what do I pitch? Do I just do one video for them? Now it's like, no, this is our offer. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. And like, this is how we know we're going to get you results. So it's changed everything completely.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, before we get into talking about ads and how that changed everything for you,
Mhm.
how do people see you differently? Like now you're not just like every other videographer. Now it's like, how do these businesses see you now that you can actually get them an ROI? How do they perceive you?
As an actual expert, right? I think when you're just a videographer, you're a video kid, it's not a lot of respect. It's kind of just like a commodity, right? Video is more so just a commodity that people will invest in when they need it. They're like, oh, I know I need content. I'll hire a videographer for this event or whatever. And then you never hear back after the fact. And actually being able to get a system where you are able to get clients results, you're able to charge what you're worth because you know what you're talking about. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's, you need something that separates you from everybody else. You know, when it gets into ads, when it gets to being an actual marketing agency, you need to figure out how you create an edge and what separates you from everyone else. And for me, it was like, I can't just be a videographer doing sports gigs on the weekends and then having unpredictable income. One month will, you know, one week I'll get a lot of money, next week no jobs or anything. Now we have an actual lead acquisition system that helps with that. So it's been a game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah, 100% dude. And so, okay, cool. So there's no possible way ever for someone to scale this thing up to 38,000 collected. Guys, and we're not talking revenue as in
Collected.
like maybe someone will pay you throughout the next 12 months. We're talking about $38,000 went into Eddie's bank account within a 30-day period for having a way more valuable offer and finally dial in acquisition. And so, dude, how did it feel when when you turned on your first ad and woke up to leads the next day? How did that feel, bro?
It was interesting. Like I just didn't know the amount. I think one thing I'm learning in businesses, and I'm still learning this, is that your TAM is a lot bigger than you think. That your total web market is so much bigger than you think. That there's so many people that you can actually help. You just need to let them know that you exist. And this is the way, same exact thing that I express to clients now is that your market is so much bigger than you can actually imagine. Especially where I live in Southern California. You know, big population. And so I just learned that like, wow, there's so many people that I can impact that I could actually help and are in need of my services. So waking up every single day to like new leads coming in, it's crazy because it still happens, right? Like even now months later. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I know that I have a machine that's running. And that's what a business owner that you need to have. You can't be relying on referrals or word of mouth. You need to have a machine that's constantly bringing new eyes, new attention to your offer, to your business every single day. So it's huge. That's what I'm learning as a business owner as well.
Yeah, dude, you're 100% right. And like the more knowledgeable you get in the marketing space, and the more knowledgeable you get about these local ads that we help you implement, the more knowledgeable and helpful you are for your clients. And so
Right.
it's cool to see. It's cool to see all of that compound. And dude, do you happen to know your ROAS? Like every dollar in, how many dollars are you getting out right now in ads?
It's around an 8 to 12x ROAS right now.
That's nuts. People need to understand this. Like if I put a dollar in, I get say $8 out on the conservative side. So 8 to 12 depending on the month, right? He puts in $10,000, he gets $80,000 out. You need to go put $10,000 in ads next month, bro. Like it's freaking go
Yeah.
time. That's
Yeah.
nuts. That's
Exactly.
that's crazy. And dude, you've been able to grow fast too. Like most people think that they need to be in the game for years and make their portfolio and whatever. Like they need to like get better. Can't what? Okay, no. You know what? What would you say to someone that thinks they need more camera gear and all that BS before actually charging more?
Bro, I'm selling my camera gear next year. It's funny. It's funny you asked that because I was talking to my girl the other day. I'm like, we need to sell like two of our cameras next year because we don't even need them anymore. I don't even use them. That's definitely like how I used to think, and it's crazy because so much has changed in the last year. And I remember like this time last year, researching like different lighting, different cameras, like different lenses, and like, oh, this is going to be the game changer that makes people want to work with me, or that that really level up my clients' content. And what you're learning more when you have a mentor like Boris and the team. Is that clients only care about one thing? They care about the return on investment, right? They don't care about who's shooting the content. They don't care about like how all this random stuff that I think videographers it's procrastination. Like we're like fantasizing about different things, and like no one cares. Like as a videographer, you're only impressing other videographers with that stuff. What really matters is if you're getting your clients results, and if you have an offer that is able to get you more clients. And so yeah, in terms of camera gear and stuff, I don't buy new camera gear, any stuff like that. But this time last year, I was doing all of that. Like a way different. It's weird because I don't even the trajectory of kind of my business and growth through business in the past year has been me doing all the shoots, me doing all the editing, to okay, now we're onboarding a videographer. Now I don't touch editing anymore, and obviously scaling that way. And it's a lot more of like you as a videographer, you have to ask yourself like, do you want to keep doing this? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want to keep doing this? We're just doing consistent shoots. That's fine. I knew that I needed something that was going to be able to scale because my end goal is I want to be able to travel with my girlfriend, live a life where I don't have to work all the time. And obviously, we're working towards that goal. And I think that if you're a videographer where you need to be present at shoots all the time with the top camera gear, then you're never going to be able to scale that way. So that's just something you need to ask yourself.
Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right, man. It's a reality check, and people need to understand like that because that's the goal, man. They
Mhm.
if you want to grow this business, you need these systems. You need
Mhm.
these systems, and so you're saying a lot of systems came in place once you started implementing all this. Like,
100%. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's just like as you scale with a business, you learn so many different things, and I think a big one thing that I learned is like operations and systems, fulfillment. That
yep.
you can't do everything yourself. That you're going to be able to hit like a certain ceiling when you try to do everything yourself, and that's kind of where it was. Where like I think a lot of videographers want to hit that 10K a month mark because that's kind of possible to do everything by yourself. You hit 10K a month, you're like, okay, I'm happy because I'm not really spending much on ads. I hit 10K, but also you're like, that's multiple shoots throughout the whole month, editing full time, and you're not actually making anything that scales that way, right? You have to be able to bring in new business as a business owner. Your main goal should be acquisition, and I've just been learning that so much through this program is that like I needed to shift more attention to acquisition than I was doing in the past. So yeah, 100%.
Acquisition is everything, man. And
Mhm.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And so, dude, you just took a really cool trip to Japan with your girlfriend.
Mhm.
How was that? Having leads come in every day, like clients that are happy. How was that while you were on a 2 week vacation versus like a year ago when you were just selling content packages and you were on vacation?
I couldn't do that. Yeah, I couldn't do that for sure. I think that was like a big thing. We knew that we wanted to travel, and being like, okay, like I'm fine with spending money on this vacation, spending whatever, multiple thousands of dollars on it. Like it was, if I were to think last year, I'm like, no, we can't do that. Way more conservative with money. Now it's way different because just like on the money side of things, outside of freedom, it's like going to dinner on weeknights, having weekly date nights with my girlfriend, where it's like I don't really care about the bill. Like we can go wherever we want to eat. We can do the things we want to do. Just like the freedom aspect of having that, and not having to worry anymore, is huge, right? And so I think that I look at money completely differently now than I used to. My girlfriend would tell you more than I would. Like I used to be extremely, extremely stingy, and I just look back and I'm like just little things. Now I'm all about optimizing my time. How can we go ahead and like I get my time back, right? Whether that's meal preps or that's laundry delivery service, like whatever I can, like that's where I'm at now. But it's weird because back then I used to think like, you need to be able to, I don't know, like it's just weird how I used to think. I used to be way more stingy than I am now, but obviously it's because I understand where my time goes, is where that money flows, right? And so, just learning that and scaling that way, it's been huge.
Yeah, dude, you've like completely changed as a human being in like six
Hmm.
months. Like, like it completely changed. You're like, it's nuts, dude. I know making more money and helping more clients and doing less BS work and actually growing the business like gives you a certain level of confidence. But like, dude, you've
Hmm.
gotten to a point now where you're like, dang, dude, I know what I want. I want more freedom. I want more money, and I want
100%.
like a business that runs on autopilot. And that only happens when you dial in acquisition and have a way more scalable offer.
Right.
So it's cool to see it. It's cool to see it happen. Dude, awesome. And so, what would you say to someone that is scared of running ads?
Grow a pair of balls. I don't know. Right. I don't know. I don't know. Like if you gotta really ask that's one thing that I learned from Boris throughout this whole mentorship is that um, business is one of the hardest things that you can ever do. Like if you want to do this, you have to realize that it's going to take sacrifice, it's going to take everything, and it's going to challenge you, and you are going to question things. And that's something that you have to be willing to confront yourself with. Because as a videographer, you're kind of just like a freelancer taking jobs. Like it is kind of like a business, but it's not a real business with sales, with marketing, with ad spend, all that stuff. You're kind of just, like I said, a kid with a camera. And so this past year has been truly one of the most, I guess, groundbreaking for me in terms of like my personal growth, my mindset growth, because you get challenged. Like this is not easy. It's not the sort of thing where you can just like, oh yeah, I can still do the things I want to do, hang out with the friends that I want to hang out with, and be the same person. Like this is going to require you to be fundamentally a different person. You have to, and that's like really I guess the biggest goal is like, are you happy with the situation that you're in, or do you want to be the guy that's making 30, 50K, 100K a month that is doing more and wants to scale past that point? If you want to be that person, then it's going to essentially require you adopting new habits, adopting new beliefs, killing kind of like your old self and challenging your self-doubts, and which is what I've learned about a lot through this mentorship is just that like just beyond everything else besides like business and sales and everything is personal growth.
Love it, dude. I love it. Is there anything you would say to the person that is on the fence of joining the inner circle? They're just not sure. Anything you would say to that person?
Um, they're not sure. I think if you were in my shoes where I was at before, where I had a retainer client, I didn't know where my next job was going to come. I didn't know anything about ads. If like that's where I was pretty much coming into this. Like I've joined other programs and I learned a lot, and I obviously was able to get to the point to 10, 15K. I think the biggest thing is that you have to ask yourself if this is seriously something that you want to do, and if it's something you want to do, then go all in. You can't. I think the biggest thing in business and life, and that's what I'm learning, is that like education and investing in yourself is one of the most important things that you can do as a business owner. And so whether that's, lower leverage things like investing in books or having one-on-one mentorship, whatever that is, like you need to be able to invest and learn from people that know more than you do. And so that's why I've never been scared to put my money down, to invest in things like that, because I know that like I said, I'm the type of person where it's like, if I've done it, if I've seen someone else do it, then I could do it too. I don't get scared with stuff like that. I just know that, hey, whatever worked for them can work for me. There's nothing different between that person and me. And so if you're a viewer watching this and you think like, hey, I don't think this Eddie guy is any different from me, I can get to where he's at, then put your money where your mouth is and invest and learn from people that are doing more than you, that are producing more volume than you. Then that's the only way that you're really going to learn. You have to surround yourself with people, above you. And that's kind of where I've been at this lately. So,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know if I spoke
Yeah.
too much,
No,
but
that
kinda
was so
just
good. That was so articulate,
that's
bro.
it, man.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. Guys, look, if you're on the fence, if you want more information on what it looks like, if you really want to make 2026 a record year, then book in a call down below. We'll give you a ton of value. And thank you, Eddie, for taking the time. And dude, it's go time.
Can I say one last thing, Boris?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this, like, because I know there's so much skepticism out there with online coaching, with mentorships, with education, all that stuff nowadays. You will get a ton of value from Boris's program, right? Like, I think that without a doubt, if you put into place the systems that he teaches you, the exact offer that he teaches you, if you give it your 100%, you will win. You just need to ask yourself if you're that killer, if you're that person that's going to be able to do it, because no one's going to hold your hand. No one's going to, it's going to be on you. Like you're going to be putting that money into ads. You got to swallow that pride and be like, okay, I'm going to put $1,000 into this. I need to make that $1,000 back. You just have to be willing to do that. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is believe in yourself, man. Like if I'm talking to my Eddie like 6 months ago, it's like believe in yourself. You trust the process. Anytime you've invested in education, you've learned and grown from it. And so this is just another platform where you can do that. But 100%, Boris's program is huge.
So well said. Thank you so much, dude. And yeah, guys, book in a call if that's you. And it's time to take over.
Let's go. Thank you.